Will these boot camps give children a chance? Joining us on the programme, Jamie Kelsey-Fry, a contributing editor at New Internationalist magazine. He's been a teacher for 23 years. Hello there, morning to you.
Good morning, Vanessa. Lovely to be back on your show.
Very nice to have you back on the show. Do you think this sounds like a good idea? I mean, at first we thought that this must mean sleepaway camps, but it doesn't. It means evening and weekend, and camps isn't really the word because they won't be camping, they'll just be going. And there's going to be quite a big emphasis on scholastic achievement and teaching reading, writing and arithmetic, some emphasis on outdoor type activities. Do you think it can do the trick?
Well, no, absolutely not. It depends what the trick they're trying to do is. To me,
that's an excellent point. Actually, what trick do you think they are trying to do?
They're trying to. It's a knee-jerk reaction to the London riots that happened a few months ago, and it's very similar to an idea that was introduced about 3 weeks ago. The suggestion of a free school that is run by soldiers who don't have to have any teaching qualifications at all. And I think that they're imagining that the best way that London can be put at rest about young people is for us to show a front where we are going to treat them with discipline. They need discipline in their lives. And I think Herbie is brilliant what he was just saying. And he's saying similar to what I was saying on the show the last time, which is they don't need discipline, they need understanding. He's right to say they are the future of this country. And at the moment, this country is beset with what's called ephebophobia, a fear and loathing of teenagers. And that's been backed up consistently by this government.
But you could say enormously exacerbated by and fanned by the riots. You know, when we used to talk on this programme, and I've asked the question many times, are you frightened of young people? Are you scared of teenagers? Is this the first generation where we're frightened of our own kids? Some people admit to being scared of their own kids. If you've got a great big boy or a girl and they grow nice and tall and sturdy and then they start turning their aggression on you, you can be terrified in your own house of your own kid. But other people's children are an unknown quantity. We used to talk endlessly about how scared my listeners often were on buses and places like that with, you know, in an enclosed environment with roaring, unpleasant, marauding teenagers. They were terrified. But after the riots, Jamie, surely even you will concede that we saw a most unpleasant side of London's young people. Of course, not all of them, and of course only a tiny drop in a big ocean. But nevertheless, it wasn't good PR for teenagers, was it?
That's not good PR for teenagers, but the facts were that, in fact, by the end of those 4 days of riots, it turned out that most of the people who were involved in the illegal activity weren't children at all. And also, a much more important point, I think, is that people need to be talking about Kids Company, who I also work for, run by Camilla Batman-Gelly.
Yes.
They are famous for the fact that we look after young people who come from what may be called unspeakable backgrounds. And they're not dealing them with discipline and harshness. They're dealing them in such a wonderful way that these young people are being turned around completely. And in fact, their main aim, when they get older at Kids Co, their main aim is to use what they've learned and how they've turned around to inspire other young people. That's brilliant. That works. Punishing young people without listening to them, listening to their grievances, is just an absolute recipe for disaster. In the New International magazine that I work for, New Internationalist, David Ransom, the editor, points out something very obvious, which has happened since in the last Tory government as well, which is, of course, there's a massive link between economic chaos and social chaos.